Okay, so you have your first site and you want to add some content to it. Right over here, go to the Insert tab. So you have pages and themes. You want to go to Insert. And if you want to add some text, the very first thing you do is click Text Box. A text box appears in the site, and go ahead and type whatever it is you want to type. In this case, I'm going to type a header for week of August 10th. Simple as that. Now, you can make your text box smaller if you want to wrap text. So if you had a very long line of text, this would wrap it and then, of course, make it longer that way. And then I'd have room to add another text box here if I wanted to by clicking text box. By default, it goes here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little smaller. And then I'm going to grab these dots in the middle, get that four-headed arrow, and then drag it up. And so then I can have another column of text on my site. I don't need this right now, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. So week of August 10, 14, and I'm going to put the presentations for the week on this site. And so the next thing I'm going to do then is go to my drive, because that's where my presentations live. And I'm going to go to presentations, and then I'm going to choose the scientific method presentation, click that, and then click insert. And it's really that simple. So there's the presentation. And now when students come to the website, they could click through the presentation here, or they could click through and make it larger. And I'm going to show you that here in just a second. One thing I do want to tell you is this is normal text, and you will be able to link just to this part of a web page by making this a heading or a subheading. So if I make that a subheading, I'll show you what will happen here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead. Every time I make changes that I want to show up, I need to click Publish. So I'm going to click Publish. This comes up letting me know what has changed. I know what it is, so I'm going to click Publish. All right, and then now I can see the changes if I click this View button. So this is what it would look like to students. And from here, they could click this button, open a new tab, but it opens your presentation in present mode. So that's what we're going for, because that's what allows your animations and your transitions to be live so that students can see it the way you intended and have tabs open. Of course, if they don't mind, they can also just click through here. It does exactly the same thing on the website. It's in present mode, just in a smaller window. Now, the reason that you're going to want this to be a heading is you'll see that link right there. You can copy that heading link and paste it in your LMS, whether that's Google Classroom or Schoology, and then it'll bring students right to this place. That's really important once you have a bunch of presentations, like a bunch of weeks, let's say August 10 through November 20th, and you don't want students to have to scroll and scroll and scroll to find them. Copying a heading link will allow you to direct them directly to that space. So a pretty cool little trick. And you only get that if you make this a heading or a subheading. So I like subheadings. I think they look nice. Now, that's the basics. That's how you can share your presentations in a Google site. Obviously, a Google site can be a lot more than just a bunch of presentations embedded. You look over here, you can see all different kinds of things that you can do and add to personalize your site, make it look nice, make it look exactly the way you want it. That's not the intention of this video. This video is just about showing you how to have presentations in a Google site so that students have the benefit of your animations and transitions. So we'll stop from here. I do want to show you one thing about publishing. It's super important to remember that you have to publish after every change. And also, when you're in this site, if you click on this drop-down arrow here, you can view published site, review changes and publish, or unpublish the site. If there's some reason you need to make a change to sharing settings or anything like that, you can unpublish the site and republish it with a couple of clicks. If I go to View Published Site, it opens up a new tab. This is the URL you want to share with students. You don't want to share this URL. This is the editing URL. They won't have rights to do it. And so then you'll get a bunch of emails saying I can't open up the site. So always go to view published site and grab that URL and share it. One last thing I want to show you, just in case you're building this with a team of teachers. If you come here, just like a Google Doc or anything else, if you click on this, you can add collaborators to help you build the site out. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel for every presentation, and you guys can share resources and have one site to share with all your students. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll look at a way for you to kind of marry not just slides and presentations, but your Google Classroom assignments into the site, just in case you want to have some redundant ways for students to access their materials.